Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Wole Wole today. I am your host, Sanitarian Temilara. I am going to be talking about a very interesting topic today. I will be telling us about my journey, how I became an environmental health officer. Please grab a glass of water, rest your back, promise you won't choke, and hear the gist. I'll be taking us back to secondary school where it all started, which didn't start from there actually. So I remember then I wanted to write JAM. Everyone wanted to write JAM in school. Like JAM was hot thing in school. Everyone was asking, did you buy a JAM form? Did you buy a JAM form? And all of that. I was looking at everyone. I was lost. So I went to my father and said I wanted to take JAM. He looked at me with this kind of very funny face. He said no. And I was like, sir, please, I want. He said no. I started begging. He didn't agree. He got to a stage, my mom had to start begging with me. After the whole pressure of, sir, please, let me write. I'm begging you. He finally said, okay, you can write it. I remember a friend following me then to Access Bank. She also had bought JAM form. Told me she followed me to Access Bank. We went there to get a form, all the necessary scratch cards and all of those things. I can't even remember why my father didn't allow me to take the JAM. I don't think I remember. I don't know his reasons. So I chose Unilag, medicine as usual. Everybody's parent wants to be called Mama Doctor, Baba Doctor. But for me, I don't think it was part of me. My mom was already telling me, no, doctors are very good. When they finish, they're going to have jobs and things like that. It was almost every child's dream of, when I grew up, I want to be a doctor. I don't know who sold us that story growing up. That was just like the best profession ever as an African parent, as an African child. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, any other thing, you're on your own. So I had a lot of things I wanted to become. From being a doctor, I changed to a petrochemical engineer. Not like I was really good in my science subjects anyways. I wanted to be a petrochemical engineer. Okay, after watching a movie, I wanted to be a psychiatrist. I enjoyed mentally so much that Patrick Jane was all over in my head. Everywhere I was going, as I was walking, I wanted to be like Patrick Jane. I acted like Jane. I, tried to do this psychic thing of reading your mind. And later on, I said I wanted to be a basketballer. Please don't laugh at me. Yes, I'm petite, but I wanted to be a basketballer. I started playing basketball in my secondary school from GS1. I always went for practice and all of that. I said I wanted to be a basketballer. Then my sister said something like, if you're going to be a basketballer, nobody's going to hold you. But have an education. What if something happens in the course of you playing basketball? Maybe you break a bone and you don't have to play again. What will happen? You won't have anything to tender as an educated person in quotes. I don't know what to say to that. So, after the whole jammed me, I didn't know what to do, and I think we're graduating that particular year. I graduated 2014. I didn't want to stay at home. Then my friend who followed me to the bank to get my JAM said something passing one time. I said, there's actually a school where you go to school and they pay you for going to school. I just heard it passing by. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't even know what the school is. I don't know anything about the school. I just heard it passing. I didn't concentrate on it. So I decided, okay, let me do something else rather than staying at home. Then I used to go to my sister's clinic at Simpson's Primary Health Care. Then I see students that wear blue and blue. That's like the scrubs that was given to students when you gain admission into College of Health. So she told me about the school and things like that and all of that. I said, okay, fine, I will do it. I decided I would go for JTU. When I saw the admission requirement, the flyer, I had 2 sittings. So I said, okay, let me go for JTU. I looked at the certification, it wasn't nice. So I said, okay, let me look at something else. So I looked at another thing. I saw environmental health. I said, okay, fine, let me give this a trial. It's just 100 levels, so what's the big deal? That was how the whole process of College of Health started. I took the exams. I met different people. Then I was interviewed by Dr. Macaulay. Oh my God, it was really, really an interesting interview. We had fun in the process of being interviewed. So we got admitted into environmental health department. I still had my 1 year in mind. After my first year, I'll take JAM again and go to another school. 100 levels started. I met Fisayo. I met a lot of people. Opeyemi, Shonibare, Dosa, Panipo. I met a lot of people. So we were in class together. My HOC was Teslim Adewale, Adefela. We had amazing times in 100 level. Moving to 200 level, I said, okay, let me just do ND. ND. Yes, I'll do ND. From there, I took JAMB again. We were supposed to go to Ekiti. I think it's Ondo or Ekiti. We were supposed to go there. It was Ondo, yes, Millennium College. It was Ondo. I had JAM that very day. So I said, okay, let me quickly go and write my JAM and come back so they won't leave me behind because we're supposed to go without Marco Polo. I used 90 minutes for an exam that was 3 hours? When I finished, I called my parents and said, see, I'm done with JAM. I'm going home. My mom said something that was funny. She said, I know that your mind was not on that JAM. It's where you're going to, that your mind is. I didn't say anything. I was like, well, I don't have anything to say to that. I've finished my exams. So we went to Ondo. The next morning, I received my JAM results. I made a score of 241. Oh my God. It was like a film trick because I'm like, wait, how did I get this result? I don't know. I and someone also took that JAM. Another person took the JAM. I think Yusuf took that JAM. I am mentioning names to honor them. I'm mentioning names to honor them. So I took the result came out. I decided, okay, it was LASU. No, it was FUNAB I chose FUNAB since it was, related to environmental health. That was environmental toxicology and management. I said, okay, I'll do that. So I called a lecturer of mine and asked him, sir, do you think it's a good idea to actually take this course? Sanitarian Temilara said, you know what, just finish this course. It will really make sense if you finish the course. I was like, wow, finish the course. Okay. I wasn't settled yet. So I said, okay, let me just buy a change of course. I was going for dentistry. I went for dentistry. No, I actually did dentistry first. I think I did dentistry first. I don't know which came first, but I did one. I cried before I actually chose that dentistry. I think if I had seen nursing, I would have chosen nursing, even though I don't think I looked like a candidate of nursing. I'm sure I didn't want nursing then. I said, okay, dentistry. By crying, I had to cry. People were consoling me like, take this course, it's very good, you will cope, you will do amazing, you will do this and that. I was crying and I was filling the form. Okay, I will do it. So I decided, I went for the registration for dentistry. Then Shonibari was already in LASU, also going for dentistry. I said, no, I'm not going to take it. I'll finish my ND. Contrary to that, I'm sorry this sounds really weird, but I've decided to give you undiluted gist. I had a dream where I saw a friend of mine in a particular place. I didn't know where it was. I didn't know the people I saw. I remember her face. I remember the place, but I discarded it because I felt, well, what am I doing here? What's my business? The person I saw was my classmate, was my course mate, and ended up being my best friend. Isn't that amazing? The place I saw in my dream was Ilese College of Health. The room that I saw was the room where we stayed together. And the people that I saw were schoolmates, but a different course. They were doing health attendant. Yes, health attendant. It was when I moved over, I realized that, wow, this is what's going on. I can't believe it. So it was like God already planned my path. Like He ordered my steps, even when I wasn't really conscious of that. But I knew that, this is what happened. And going through the HND, I decided to go with the HND. Going through HND, I met a lot of people. I joined the Scouts Association of Nigeria. It was another entire story. I went through the school, got used to the system, met amazing lecturers like Mr. Shoingbe, Mr. Adetayo, Dr. Rosiji, Sanitarian Cyril. I met so many people, Mr. Sholaja, so many amazing lecturers, both from LASCOET, that's Lagos State College of Health, and OSCOTEC, Ogun State College of Health. They made my journey amazing. And what is a life of a student if we didn't have struggles, we didn't have challenges? We had days of hunger, days where they postponed our exams and we couldn't go home. We had no food. We were just going from one place to another to get food, and God really sustained us. God really helped us out during our stay in school. So finals, we took board exam, recount board exam. We made it out, and God was really faithful. Went for youth service. During my youth service, I had beautiful times. During my recount exam, which is now Econ, I met amazing invigilators. Oh my God, they were so kind. I met Sanitarian Samuel Akinbenny. That was the first time I met him. I didn't even know who he was, but we had a very good conversation. That was how I had his number. Then I'll just drop in messages once in a while and all of that. So going for NYSC, I thought agricultural science, please. It wasn't a good experience. How can a whole wule in quotes? No, sorry. I'm a sanitary inspector. How can a whole health officer be teaching agricultural science. It just didn't match. But the fact that I had a science-related course doesn't mean I have to teach. I've never taught in my life. That school was a training ground I would never want to have again, because I don't see myself enjoying teaching. Oh my God, it stressed me. And my service here was really amazing. I met God at my time. I would always say this to everyone I meet when I share my story. I met God at my time. I was squarely with God. He was adding and removing and all of that. It was really amazing for me. After that, I came back. This zeal of when I finish my NYSC, I won't spend a month at home. I'm gonna get a job. Yes, that was the hope of every ESCO member or a core member that was passing out that day. I had like, oh my God, I'm not gonna stay a month in this house. Father in heaven, no way. My dears, I spent days, months. But the beautiful part is, I just spent a year and some months at home before getting a job. How did I get the job? It was really, really interesting. Getting the job. Oh my God, getting the job. I decided I'll still say I'm giving you undiluted gist. I got a job in the place of me asking God, praying to God to lead me. I had a couple of friends around. We would gather together, we pray, and I had a dream where I literally saw someone telling me, yes, you're going to get a job. The moment I had that dream, my God, I held on so tight, like, Lord, I am going to get this job. I am going to get a job. And I think I also prayed for where I am now. Specifics, I think. Or maybe my heart was drawn to that place because there's an assignment for me there. So I kept on praying. It got to a stage I got tired. I became an apprentice while I was at home. So one day my boss said, okay, I went for an exercise and I came back. And whatever my boss was telling me to do, I was doing the opposite, which was very, very unusual. He was like, are you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. Okay, bring me this. I brought something else. Are you sure? Bring me this. I brought something else. So he said, you know what? I had to sit down. I was like, sir, please, I need to sit down. I sat down and I started wailing. What happened to you? I couldn't tell him anything. He said, you know what? Get up, go home, and go and sleep. Come back. I went home and they were like, what are you doing at home? I said nothing. I'll soon go back. I just came to sleep or rest or something like that. I soaked my bed. I soaked the bed with tears. I was like, Lord, I am tired. This is not what you promised me. This is long overdue and things like that. I cried so hard. So there was a meeting around that time and I joined in the meeting. And a particular thing happened in the meeting which I won't disclose. Whatever happened in that meeting gave me hope. It lighted a bulb of hope in my heart. So I kept on holding on. So I started getting calls of, okay, go and submit your CV, this, that, and all of that. That was how I got a job. And the struggles, will I say I had struggles? Ever since I had gotten a job, it has been amazing. I'll be sincere. I've met people. I've been exposed to so many things. This is just like the short story of how I became an environmental health officer. And the reason why I actually gave this gist, let me call it a gist, is because there are some people that became EHOs, environmental health officers, who never planned to be just like me. I have never heard of who a Wole was, who an health inspector was, what public health was. I never had an idea of whatever it is called or what they do in the profession. But getting into it, I started having a desire for it. So whenever somebody says Wole, I'm like, sorry, I'm an health officer, I'm a sanitary inspector, don't call me Wole. Wole was for the old people then. Now we are health inspectors, we are health officers. Don't call me Wole. So when somebody calls Wole, I have this very dirty, bombastic side. I like, I'm not a Wole. I'm a sanitary inspector. I'm an health officer. And I'm someone that likes uniform. I was planning to go for Nigerian Navy after youth service. That was when COVID hit. So bouncing back from COVID, I decided, well, I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm gonna face what has been placed in my hands and to steward it just like God will want me to steward it. So the whole story is just trying to make someone out there see that the Lord really orders our steps. He really does. There are some times where we feel like we have our lives planned out, but it just doesn't work that way. As I said, His thoughts are higher than ours. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. There are sometimes you feel like you are doing rubbish, but the fact and the truth is, God is actually orchestrating your path. I know some people might not finish their course as an environmental health officer. Believe me, it is fine. You didn't miss out anything. Maybe we're just not meant to be there. We're just meant to be there for a season and a reason. And when you've exhausted the season and reason, it was time for you to move on. You can agree with me that from the beginning of 100 level to your finals, everyone that started with you in 100 level didn't finish with you to your finals. You can agree with me on that. Just because you didn't finish as an environmental health officer doesn't mean you don't have a life. There's a whole lot ahead of you that you do not understand. Just allow the Lord hold your hands and guide you through. If someone had woken me up from sleep like 10 years, 11, 12 years ago and asked me, would you love to be an health officer? I would have looked at the person like, what are you talking about? Even the word Wole, I don't think I've heard it before. I just see people in uniform, There's a lot of things ahead for you. And if you're finished from your course, your training as an health officer, and you feel like all hope is lost, believe me, there is still hope. God will put you in your space where you are meant to flourish, where you are meant to blossom and grow. Hold on to Him. Hold on to the word He gave you. Hold on to Him to guide you. I know that it gets to a point where you're weary, but in your weariness, do not let go of Him. He is the perfect example of help. All you need to do is keep asking Him to help you hold on to Him, to help you keep your eyes on Him, and to help you go through life hurdles with Him. Because when I was in school, I had challenges. Challenges will come, but the grace to overcome them is the most important thing. If you keep your eyes on the challenges, you will lose strength. But if you keep your eyes on the one that can help you overcome your challenges, you will go far. This message is basically for those that are still in school, those that feel like it is over, those that feel like they can't get a job. If I had gone for toxicology and management or dentistry, I think I'll be finishing this year or so. But the Lord had already prepared a space for me. He had prepared a room where I will sit in for me. So no matter how much I will have gone up and down, my space will be there for me. And if I miss that space, God is not a God that is wicked. He will create another space for me. You are valuable. You are valued. No matter the space you find yourself in, you give value. You are valued. You are needed. They can't do anything without you. You are an important supply to that body and that system of the organization or the space you find yourself in. So please do not despise where you are. Hope. And I know that you're going to do well. You're already doing well. You're flourishing. You are doing amazing. And you're doing excellently well. So I hope this encourages someone out there. No matter where you find yourself, no matter the profession, the Lord will guide your feet. He will order your steps and make you be where you will be an expression of Him to others on earth. Thank you so much for staying with me till this time. I'll bring us another episode next month. Thank you. Bye.